Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here. That's our covenant. We got 7 seals. Brothers and sisters, I'm unprecedented trouble. Unprecedented. And they're saying basically in many ways, I mean, the way their reactions, the way they talk about things, in the media, carry on, what's on the internet anyway. Because now they're actually talking nuclear war. They wasn't even talking like that 2 weeks ago. So it's getting closer and closer. See, it's Trump putting nuclear subs in positioning them. Say, were they bluffing? Were they not bluffing? So much, brothers and sisters, happening. I've been warning you about it. Now we're here. Yet, it's confusing unless you know mathematics, you know the angel. Because it's hard to speak to this clearly. That's the essence of I'm going to make a new ruler in the earth, Adam, make men shed blood, and what you doing? And Bliss said, I ain't going for you. See what I'm saying? You try to sort that out. And the Sunnis haven't been sorted out. I mean, they got some crazy idea. Well, that's all humanity. But yeah, but it doesn't fit because all humanity's not running the planet. And then yes, humanity, who are the angels? That means there's somebody that's not humanity, but yet they put me in submission to humanity. But have you seen the angels lately? See, it just falls apart. And why is people able to, you say, how do people come to this? I mean, it's easy to knock this stuff down. But it's like, a guy driving a car, he can see. He's wondering why that guy over there, he's sitting in the car, but he's not moving because he's blind. It's easy for you, but you can see. He's blind. When you walk down the street, right? You walking, this guy's bumping into stuff. Why? Because he's blind. He's blind. And that's why it says the nation is dead. Don't mean you're physically dead. It means you're dead here. That's why I said you have to get your mind back. I keep telling you this. But nobody's paying attention because they're dead here. Like telling the blind person, only reason they can't see because they won't open their eyes. If you see eyes being shut, they never thought to open them. You're so used to being, with the eyes shut. Say, for instance, it was dark all the time. Why waste time to open your eyes? You can't see anything. So why waste energy doing that? So you just walk around with your eyes closed. I mean, what's the difference? You can't see anything. You're going like that for long years and most entropy and everything else. Then one day, light comes on. Might tell you, hey, man, open your eyes. Can't see. No. Well, you don't open them because you're used to open them. And you still walk around blind, even though you can see. You had a possibility to see. That's the situation our people in. Right? You don't do any thinking at all. None. Not to prove it. No thinking at all. See, they think instinct is thinking. See, bees can build beehives. They can build things. And that's architecture. That's engineering. What do they think? Well, beavers build dams. Birds build nests. They build things. Sometimes complicated. Spiders build webs. It's engineering, architecture. What do they think? No. See? They act on impulse. What makes them feel good, what they think, what their needs are. I'm hungry. I ain't go out and go eat something. I'm hungry. It's an impulse. And that's where everybody's listening to this right now. All of you. That's where you're not thinking. See, because they gave a criteria that you know you're thinking. Because there's something that you had to actually think to achieve. And that's the angel. When you start thinking, then that book comes open to you. You start figuring it out. Because if you can't figure it out, it means you're not thinking. You think you're thinking. You act on instinct. You act on emotions. What's driving you is how you feel about something. I said, no. Prove it in many ways. Take Elijah Muhammad, for instance. Okay, when Master Muhammad left, they all turned against Elijah. Why? He was just saying like Master Muhammad was saying. So it wasn't based on intellect. They didn't like Elijah Muhammad. They didn't like him. He was saying, he was always repeating exactly what Master Muhammad was saying. Okay. 7 years it was on, and his even own family. And then once he got going right, he wasn't any great success till Malcolm came along. And then Ali, they liked him. Then all of a sudden they said, a group. Why? They was just repeating what he was saying. All of a sudden just group because they liked him. They identified with him. It was cool. And Ali, oh man, he had to be on there. I'm with Ali, he's there, I'll be, you know. If Jay-Z or Beyonce can't say, man, I'm be with this brother, man, I had so many followers, I wouldn't be able to keep up with him. Oh man, Jay-Z over there? That's where y'all are. That's why Levites not responding, no one's responding. Said they wouldn't respond until the four winds blow. But why did they respond then? Because they're under attack. See, when you're under attack, right, you have a whole different reaction to things. Because now you're going to have to think your way out of it. See, when you're under attack in your life, then you have to find out what you need to do to save your life. And the only thing that's going to save your life then is thinking. You have to outthink your enemy. That's what's going to force you to think. That's why it says that way. Preach the four winds. Say, can these bones live? Right? Same thing. The man had to get his mind back. Keep having to get your mind back. It says in Daniel. It says in Mark. It says in Angel, which is Daniel's angel too. It's a side of part of Angel. Because it said that lion had his wings plucked off. That means that America, Britain. And he's still on his own feet, gives his mind back. Same thing in Mark. And that's the agony of Suleiman, because it's like pushing a 1,000-pound rock up a hill. And see, that's where restlessness comes in at. So I have to keep on hitting you, getting through all the resistance that's blocking you from thinking. Because when the four winds blow, right, you have to know what that means. See how this comes together? You have to know what it means. Because otherwise you'll be thinking, oh, because you'll be dead. Because that's what it says. You got to flee immediately. So you have to recognize, otherwise you may be thinking on your way to oven. I try to put these things together, brothers and sisters. You're not thinking. Yet right now it's motivating you. It's how you feel about something. And I make sure nobody likes me because I don't want you to come here like that because I ain't trying to appeal to anybody because that's where you come here. I don't want you coming here like that. You're just wasting my time. On the road like Farrakhan, be cool and slick. That's what's getting you. Because the point is, if you're thinking, Farrakhan would never got the, he would never got the bat. They wouldn't let me dug out, man. You can get up the bat. Don't waste time here. Don't get up there. When you get up to the strikeout, because because it's all over the place. Everything is easy. That's it. It should be so clear, but yet, and this truth is very clear. People come to realize it, wow, it's very clear. But like I said, I can see, my eyes open, but you refuse to open your eyes. Refuse to open because you've been so closed so long. People talk about reparations. We're going to take care of it. They think, see, they so used to the devil doing anything for them, they figure if I get reparations, I mean, they figure I'm still going to have it. They don't have no idea what that means. They did. They want to be talking reparations. It means now you got to do this stuff the devil's doing for you. The devil's been doing your thinking for you for 400 years. Think about that if you can. 400 years. If you don't use this muscle, arm your muscle for 4 months, it'll go shrink down to nothing. If you don't use it, it's called entropy. So our people haven't had to think. In fact, they wouldn't let you think. For hundreds of years. And then when you got out of that, you're so used to not thinking, you go do for anything. Right? Like, I'm trying to break out of that mode. Oh, I'm hungry. Go to the devil. I need a place to go get Section 8. Give me welfare. Give me a job. Want him to provide these things for you. And I was trying to tell you, no, providing for yourself. He showed you how to do it because God woke him up. But the problem is he was doing everything. How you know he was doing everything? Because when he was taken away, they all fell. If other people was doing this, if other people was behind him, thinking like he was, then it would have stayed up because somehow. But it just fell because he was the one that was doing the thinking. He was getting everybody to do stuff like the queen bee. Because it all fell. I mean, if there was somebody there, they would have kept it up. The whole thing just fell. Fell into the hands of Wallace and Farrakhan. They ain't do anything with it. It's all Elijah Muhammad. See, there was 2 resurrections if you pay attention closely. One Elijah or John, they same, right? The 2 it was they raised Elijah raised the widow's son from the dead, and Jesus raised somebody from the dead. There's 2 places in the Bible that talk about that. So Elijah, he was the first one to raise the Levites. They're raised. I don't have to re-raise them. They raised. And Suleiman, he raised the elect. But he had to go back and he was resistant to it. Go back and wake those Levites up. Right, raised, they went right back to sleep. I mean, they go back to being dead. They'd be asleep. I mean, they still call on Elijah, and I mean, they're active, but barely. So you had to reactivate them. Sad. But then again, that's the mathematics of it. It's very, very difficult to talk because you say, well, that's not a bad thing. It's not like everything I just said is a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. This like I didn't ask to do this. Y'all don't want to do it. This is like the hardest thing in the world. Because how you communicate this? The fact that they act like they're acting, right, is good. How is that good? Because it shows the action. When you talk about going to resonance, you talk about resonance, then you have to explain it from a different perspective. I don't like it. It says it caused me a lot of grief, and because I'm the one that apply the resonance. You know, you got this. You got to keep hitting it. Because you have to break this concrete. You got to keep hitting, man. Why don't you get tired of hitting it? But you know, that's what you got to keep doing. It sooner or later, it's going to react. I shouldn't even go into this. I shouldn't even go into this. It's like Adam. If you listen to me, I tell you, Adam was a good thing. How the hell is Adam a good thing? I put him in place. He must thought it was a good thing because it was the season. That's it. So when you start start thinking mathematically, you see the way you think is totally off base. They don't understand the Quran. And God said that, right? Just think about it. They tell you, I'm a seal of prophets, right? They tell you that means the last one, right? Then 5 minutes later, they tell you that in the end, the Mahdi is coming, right? Who's going to be with him? Prophet Jesus. Prophet Jesus. Prophet Jesus. Oh, I thought Prophet Muhammad's last one. Oh, Prophet Jesus. They tell you that. So how does that mean the last prophet then? They tell you Prophet Jesus gonna be Mahdi gonna be together. Mm-mm. In the Quran itself, Prophet Muhammad, it's hard to even call him a prophet, to tell you the truth. It's hard to even call him a prophet. Because all prophets come with resonance. He didn't come with resonance. Gabriel came to resonance. How you know? Because he didn't come with a book and he bring it in. No, he kept getting tuned in from Gabriel and he would just say what he was. Only prophet I know that they ever did that. Jesus didn't do that. Elijah didn't do that. I'm not doing that. Gabriel was actually the one on the scene. He was in the background. He was just pumping information into Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad just saying what he was getting. He going to epileptic fit and he just started speaking. And some people tell you that he never even saw the Quran as you see it today because he couldn't read, he couldn't write. And they built in portions. And the way some people tell you, the people, when he did, they write it down. And they put it on some kind of leaves or something, right? And then either just before he died or after he died, then they put it together. And now you see the Quran. Now I'm not sure. I haven't studied that, so I know it's in it's the ballpark, but the actual details I don't know. I had time to worry about that one. But you might not even call him a prophet. He was like a mouth. They were speaking through. So it's always, it's something it's very difficult to talk about, brown sister. I had no idea I'm talking about. It turns everything on its head because you're not dealing with logic, you're not dealing with mathematics, you're dealing with instinct. How you feel about something. That's what's driving the way you're thinking. Your thinking is based on your emotions, not here. Right here. And you can easy drive away emotional people. Easy. Like the ark. Oh man, you call me nigga. He jumps off the ark. If you think like this here, man, you can call me. I don't care you want to call me. Right? You keep calling me. I don't care. You call me what you want to call me. I ain't getting off this hard. See, it's reaction. So I'm just gonna talk about a couple of things, brothers and sisters. I can't at this point stop the resonance because we at the point there's reactions. So they will come to, right. Once you reach that threshold, boom. And so you said commercial, and all of a sudden gas break suddenly. Once you reach that threshold, that's what's gonna happen. Because all that resistance, break that resistance, and plus make them turn that's 360 degrees, that complete cycle, to back themselves. Because right now they're like at 0 degrees. The devil's moved down to 0 degrees. Now I got to bring you back 360 degrees. Okay? So right now you're probably like about 300, 330, 350. You only got a few more degrees left to go. And you see some strange things happening lately. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so important to get this stuff straight. Because some strange things happen. On the TV, you saw all those black people, they was whooping that devil's ass. Just stop whooping his ass. Oh. And then we get this brother. I'm not saying I'm not connect with me. They'd love me to say that, right? He's in the military. All of a sudden he just go up and start blowing him away. His own people. Because black people's spirits start coming back to them, but they don't have a steering wheel. They have a steering wheel. I mean, to get in that steering wheel. I can get your nature back. Right? You got the energy, you have to get your steering wheel. Okay. Right now, you're going the wrong direction. You're going against yourself. You're going backwards. You're going to reverse everything else. See? You got the brakes on. As a matter of fact, you're going to take the brakes off. You're going to break the brakes. You're going to put on the brakes. Now I'm going to get a steering wheel. Because you got the energy. Engine's roaring, right? Engine's roaring. And you got your foot on the brakes. Where you're going reverse. And then you have a steering wheel. That's the situation you're in right now. You got these clowns here. They're part of resistance. And resistance will be crushed. Like I said, if you're not with me, you're against me. The resistance will be crushed. Will you understand when you say crushed? Let's play a few things, brothers and sisters. I'm definitely gonna keep it short there because I'm trying to get the essence. Because things are happening so fast, and they won't happen much faster. So I'm focused just keeping the resonance going, brothers, because like I said, I can't really talk to you like I really like to talk to you. Because you understand everything I'm saying, everything sounds. Right? Like I said it. Oh man, you've been all down the Levites. Right? Then I say it's a good thing you like that. Well, I understand why they like that. Because they're slow to react. So I gotta look at both sides of this. That shows they're slow to react. That shows, right? But the thing they need now, they need to get their foot off the brakes and their steering wheel. So I look at the good in it, because that tells me, okay. But then what does it take to get a steering wheel to them? Resonance. That's frustrating for me because I got to break the wheel down, man. It's going to take me 35 years to do it. Damn. I don't want that. when you put the whole picture together, brothers and sisters, right? I'm trying to get a whole picture here. And the bad side of it again is that because of that, a lot of Levites going to be lost. Because those clowns right there. And clowns like them. Trying to put the whole picture together, brothers and sisters. And it's hard to do that. I teach you how to read if you don't know the alphabet. So that's why I explained to you. I said the Levites, right? Those are elect, they're still dead. If you want to look at it from that perspective. But it takes longer. I should say too much because I don't get a total math and you get confused. Let's move on. Let me say a couple of things, brothers and sisters.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flager as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
yes, sir,
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa maybe 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, bro. See, brothers and sisters, that's all emotion. Made no sense at all. Totally against everything like Mama taught. It was emotion. They like it. Oh, man, see? Emotion, not logic. That was a problem. See, the Levites, they woke up on an emotional state. The elect, they wake up in the intellectual. You just go around and out. But the Levites, they had to be lifted up. Silver like the gold. But they're emotional plane. If we get home, we still have emotions. We're going to master them, discipline them. So we're going to have emotions, but you discipline, you master them. But right now, they haven't mastered them. They're still on the emotional plane. Because everything they do is emotional plane. All this stuff they talk about, None of this intellectual ever makes any sense. It makes sense to them because if they feel good or not. That's what's driving them. What feels good. Or it feels good or not. You can say that if you want to say, once you get on the intellectual plane, angels like reading a newspaper or something. Scripture, same thing. See? That's the mental level you need to be on. Well, put it like this here. That's the mental level, your natural mental level. Because you put everything together. Make own a cream of planet Earth, God. You think you could have made this Earth with the knowledge you have right now? You think you could have done all this with the knowledge you have right now? Not even close. Most of you don't even have any mathematics. You talk about, it's always, it's common. I told black folks mathematics, oh man, I don't want to do it. It's amazing. Man, I don't want to do it. I ain't never been good at mathematics. You're the god of mathematics. What do you don't even know, they would know what they're saying. That means they can't think. Because when you're thinking, that's mathematics. It ain't good. And they said, satisfied, sit about, and then the devil do anything for them. Make the cell phones, make this, build houses and everything for them. They're satisfied with doing that. They don't know it's destructive, because do that, the devil have control over your quality of your energy. It means they're your master. That's why you walk around their names and it's carrying on. Because that's amazing to me right there. In the world with black folks having any knowledge of the past, walk around with the slave master's names. Why would you even be proud of it? It gets back, that's the story in Exodus about that brass cross, brass serpent. Because you don't want to upset those devils. A great deal of it, like Elijah Muhammad says, is fear. Fear is dominating most of the black folks in America. They don't want to upset these devils, boy, because they look. I mean, I can understand it. Somebody been kicking your ass and beating you for 40 years, man. Wouldn't you fear them? You couldn't do anything about it? Yeah, most people would. Sometimes I wonder, well, how come I don't? I guess my man, boy, he put so much he put on me. I ain't never feared a damn thing after he passed. So I'm thinking for it. But I always saw my brothers and sisters, at least the brothers anyway. When I was in the military, I saw how fearful they were. I couldn't understand why they were so fearful. I remember when I first got to Vietnam, and I actually got there on my birthday, Cameron Bay, and I ran this brother. And I'm not sure I met this brother before. Someplace in Germany, I'm sure. But he wasn't in my unit. So he must have been somebody, it's been a long time, about 50 years ago, right? At any rate, I go to the mess hall over at Cameron Bay, we get ready to get assigned to our stations, right? And our units. I saw him, he saw me. He was scared to death. When I told him where I was going, he visibly got upset. Because I was going to, okay, when I came over there, they ended up putting me in a line unit. When I came over there, it's a long story. I came over there as a clerk. Right? They never honored that, but, I was supposed to get in computers. It's a long story, but they tricked me out anyway. So when I met, he says, I said, wait, I said, I'm going to a clerk unit. So he was going to infantry unit. He looked at me like, why couldn't it be you? He actually said that, why could you be going out there? He was scared to death. I was never afraid that 1 second. I mean, I was some stuff went down, but I was never afraid. Close I come to being, I mean, I remember one time there's this brother named Rob. He's from California. He's a California brothers boy, real dark. And you can always tell California brothers because they like, I could always recognize him. He was different. He was a speed freak. He dexedrine. He was that's what he told all the time. He was always dexedrine. We hung out together a little bit, right? I ain't messed that. I was messed with that marijuana. Anyway, one night we was in we call it a hooch, right? Where we slept and stuff. He said, "Hey man, come on, let's go outside." What you talking about, Rob? It was dark. It was late, right? Let's go. Come on, man. Come on. I said, "What you talking about, Rob, man? Come on." I go outside with him, right? We outside. Soon as we got outside, boom. Boom, a mortar hit the building. I said, damn. I don't know what Rob had to do, but he was something, man. He was speed freak. He must have heard it something. Because as soon as we walked out the building, if I hadn't listened to him, he said, "Come on, let's go." I remember that. I'll never forget that. He says, "Let's go out, man." He blew up the building. He said, "Let's go outside. Come on, man." So I don't know if the dexedrine or what it was, but it sure did happen. I got transferred not too long after that. I never saw a brother again. Anyway. Everybody's on an emotional plane. And when I think about it, that was it. I didn't think about it too much. I've been giving this a lot of thought lately. For some reason, I wasn't on an emotional plane. Well, wait a minute, I can't say that. I used to want to figure things out all the time, but but until I learned that makes a lot. I was hyper. I was always fighting all the time. I used to jump out my car on people, they cut me off and stuff. I'd run and cut them off and jump. Boy, I was lucky I'm still alive. And I put a gun to my head one time, pull the trigger, and it didn't go off. My heart didn't skip a beat. So I was a mixed bag there. Once I made martial arts, I was able to shut that down. Right? So it was a little difference there. The thing is that that's what's going on. See, but you got to break through that. Resistance is the weapon. I'm trying to bring these things down to you mathematically, what's really going on here. They got a story, and that's why they had those stories about Jericho. Jericho, impregnable city. I mean, you couldn't get, they built those walls so thick and everything else, and nobody could get in there. And when Joshua came, you got to take this. How are we going to take this city? He said, "Look, I did repeat. It was supposed to repeat something. Just walk around for 7 days. Just keep repeating at a certain frequency. In 7 days, the wall just crumbled. Took the city. They don't put those surgeons for nothing. It's mathematics. That's a mathematical principle. They tell you that's how he took it down using a mathematical principle. I tell you, it's all math. And that's the principle that Suleiman would use to break through the resistance and to energize, get the, because remember, the Levites already raised, he got to get them going the right, he'll find them, get them going the right direction, clean them up. He didn't say he raised them, right? Because they was always seeking them. So Elijah already done that. But they're on the emotional level. That's how Farrakhan got them. But then the elect, he had to raise them. But when they raised them up, they raised up on an intellectual level. So that wasn't a problem. They went right on out. They had to go to tribulation and that kind of stuff. The Levites raised them on an emotional level, and they're still there. That's why John didn't want to deal with them. And matter of fact, I said, no, you got to deal with them. He didn't want to deal with them. Because it would take a lot of work. 35 years to just keep on, not for the elect, for them. Well, I mean, elect is benefiting from too because they're getting the residents, right? But they weren't offering any coming in, distracting, and causing all kinds of problems. So it wasn't just doing it for the Levites. Elect is that same residents, the same thing that wakes up the elect. And then wake them up. Problem is, you got to get the Levites going in the right direction. You got to wake up Lazarus when he wakes up. And when the Levites complete 133, 360 degrees, oh, those that do, when they do, they're going to be invincible. Oh, see, okay. If you're somebody who's really hard-headed, I used to tell my children, don't listen to me, right? But anyway, I said, it's all right to be hard-headed if you're going in the right direction. I said, all prophets and messengers, hard-headed, they had to be, because they had to plant resin, they had to be persistent. Right? Don't let nobody distract you. You got to be persistent. You got to be hard-headed, man. You got to be focused. You can't compromise. That's in the Quran. They say try to get the prophet to be lenient. Compromise. I said, no. Try to get Elijah to do that. He's all over the place. So, but if you go out here in the wrong direction, that's bad. Because now you're going 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction. Look all the damage you cause. How much you hit something. Problem is, I get you going in the right direction. So them being hard-headed is part of nature. There's nothing wrong with that. Just got to give them the right direction. And that's what Jonah had a problem with. So, man, that's why I said, it says right in here. It said, I should print it. It says, their heads like rocks. But it said, I made your head like flintstone that breaks rocks. That's what it says, Son of Man said, their heads are like rocks. I made your head like flintstone that breaks rocks. So it made your head harder than theirs. And it has to be. Because the Levites are the hardest headed people I've ever met. Right? Because I have to deal with them. So you didn't have to deal with the elect. They wasn't ready. They wasn't bothering. They was over there. I tell you a few other things, but I like to say that's keep down low because they still had to be protected. But the Levites had to interface with them. In Jonah, you see it. Hard-headed people. Once they turn around in the right direction, damn, ooh. Whoa. 3 woes. 'Cause remember, they're going to be kicking ass going through tribulation. Doing those they done to you. Once they get it going in the right direction. But right now, they're beating themselves up like in Mark. Using all that energy, all that hard-headedness, so nobody control them. And that was the problem. Nobody controlled them. So they were just beating themselves up. But turn them around. That's the job of Superman. Turn around. Plus, they got these demons and everything that's standing in the way. Got to break the wall of that. And that's what it says. It says, man, he suffered because of it. I'm not going to say I'm glad. This is fun. I'm happy suffering. No, like I said, I would not. I'll gladly get us away. And look, when he follows, I don't need it. I'd rather not, because I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with anyone. A lot going on, brothers and sisters. But the problem, right? Reason why I'm talking about some of these things right now, because in a few more days, somebody's going to understand this perfectly. What I'm saying. Once you open your eyes, oh man, you walk around here with cane, but you got eyes. But you got them closed. You don't know you got to open them. Open this stuff. And all of a sudden, you open your eyes and damn, whoa. And then you're running. What happened to him? You're walking around. Now all of a sudden, man, he's flying down the street, man. He's checking everything out, man. That's what's going to happen in a minute. Because see, this world here has never seen you as yourself. And they can't, that's why they have to get rid of you. Before you do. Because once you, remember, you can raise up as a God. Once you get that knowledge, you see me. And I'm not fully together yet. It tells you in there, right? The brightness of it's coming. In other words, a certain period of time that mature in his how to say it. Because I heard people, somebody say, man, you thought you God. I never said that. I don't need to say it. It doesn't matter anyway. It matters for I'm God. You God. We're all gods. Some gods are more powerful than others. Some gods are brain cells. See? We understand that way, isn't it? But they want to go out and say, I'm a God, like, I'm omnipotent. Y'all just a little bunch of niggas. That's where you give them solace and all those clowns. And the man, he's called the Son of God. So who's the Father then? See, when you look at this, I say we're children of the Most High, God. We're all the gods. But they want to come out and say like they're some specialist, That's what Master I'm gonna come and say, hold, y'all my uncle. He's trying to get you back to understand we're a family. I ain't trying to lord over anybody. I don't want to tell anybody to do. In fact, that's where you got to run away with. I'm tired of telling people what to do. I'm tired of pushing people. That ain't me. If somebody else want to do that, go ahead and do that. We're all family. Just that, all this put on me, and all this dropped on me, and I ain't happy about it. I tell you, I'm not gonna sit around and tell my I'm happy about it, and I ain't happy about it. I still feel like I got tricked. But there ain't no God out there I can curse out anything. Being real. And if I talk, because you hear about talk like this, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And you hear me talking, it's what the hell are we talking about? Because it's totally different than anything you've ever heard before. Why? Because it's different. Make all things new. That means all things where you think everything. Like Mama said, you give a new way of thinking. So who's going to do all that? When I got there, see these people talking and stuff. That's what what's going to happen to them? It's off the page, bro. Since I can just tell you that. if I even give you a hint, it'd make you sick. Those clowns. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to go easy either. But when I came in 1970, I got my ex August 21st, 1970. I told the whole story. You know, I was looking for Elijah. Nobody fished me in. I went looking for Elijah just based on the scripture. I was in Vietnam. And the bottom line is that when I didn't realize Elijah. But anyway, bottom line is that when I got to Chicago in September, because Minister James Shabbat was trying to talk me out of it, and I don't know, it was running right away or whatever, but I know after I wasn't there long for, I heard the minister keep saying, and messages too, right? But minister mostly, he said, be careful what you say, who you say, be careful what you say, who you say it to, because Allah's amongst you. Now, I'm still new to Elijah Muhammad, right? I read the letter because you had to study the lesson, you had taken reciting all that kind of stuff, so I paid attention. They said no one ever got an X fast that I did, at least in Newark. I got there beginning of August. By 3 weeks later, I had my ex. I got my letter, first time, everything, because I was serious. August 21st, 1970. Exactly 7 years from the time my father passed. He died, passed 1963, August 21st. He was processing, but I didn't know it. I didn't find out until after I got next to him. I told him, you doing what your father was doing. I said, why do you keep saying that? Be careful what you say, who you say it to, because Allah's amongst you. That's what you should say. These clowns out there, they know about that? What does that mean? Well, Master Muhammad wasn't amongst us. What was he talking about? He keep saying he never talking about nobody else behind him. Yes, he did. Said he get a new way of thinking, right? He said he made a lot of comments. He just didn't deal with it directly. And that's what you read in Exodus, that the God got angry with him. I'm not getting angry with him. Got upset with him because he says he didn't represent the Son of Man fully or something else, then I forget exactly. That was the reason why he was supposed to kept from going to the Promised Land. Because he didn't give enough glory or enough whatever. Yeah. And I asked one of the old timers, you know, what he said, I don't know, I never heard him say it before. All of a sudden he started saying that kind of stuff. But see, we're trying to get you to understand that we're a family and there's no supreme being that you got to worship and all that stuff too. We all cooperate together. If you're a brain cell, you got to incorporate your heart cell. Incorporate your lung cell. Your heart goes out, the brain goes right behind it. We're trying to get you to understand. All of us equal. Everybody's have different functions. Not a force upon them. That's function. That's their natural function. They love doing it. Bee loves making honey, I suppose. And that makes me think about my nature, because my nature ain't it's like it's a contradiction there. I always wondered about that, because, you know, it seems like people that they choose to do something is opposite of their nature. I mean, Elijah Muhammad go out and give us, he didn't get past third grade. He could barely speak. And me, I'm a hermit. I don't want to be dealing with anybody else. I got to deal with everybody, the whole planet. I deal with everybody. And I don't like doing it. So we act other than ourselves, I guess. Something I don't have time to think about, but instead of they use the opposite, like Master Prophet Muhammad. He gave the Quran, they said the most beautiful piece of literature, Arabic literature, that exists Yet the man couldn't read or write. So there was some science going on there. I don't know. I'm not. That's some other things to think about, brothers and sisters. I go, why you pick me to do this? Maybe this is my nature to do this. I don't think so. It's been silence. I don't know. I said, if anybody out there can handle it, it's all yours. I've come this far. It's almost over. That's the other side of it. Because according to the vision I have, when the facts break through on the resonance, I'm totally wiped out. Totally burnt out. I'm just having a conversation, brothers and sisters, today. Emotion, instinct, seal the prophets, right? If that means seal, how you gonna tell me? You tell me seal, he's the last prophet, then you tell me that Jesus, the prophet, is gonna be my way, but then that's no prophet at him, ain't it? So how you gonna sell that? Or well, he just a retread. Is that what that means? He said seal the prophets. The last one. If that's what you mean, then why is highest prophet? Because that's what you say. That's what they teach you. There's a couple more things, brothers and sisters, and then I'm gonna close out. Okay, I mentioned this. So I thought I needed to mention it because we're at war. And you're going to tribulation. And it's here. But they will come at you physically. And so your sight in the Quran is not going to say, hey, man, that's going to stop a bullet. We still got emotional side to us. I mean, the way I heard someone respond, it's kind of magic or something. All you got to do is say this and stopping bullets. No. They don't come at you physically. It's going to be a scenic great army. However, if you do need weapons, if weapons are necessary, Master Muhammad will supply them. You won't be sitting around using guns and stuff, but you got to go back to Master and say, give me another gun, give me more ammunition. If you need weapons, physical weapons, Master Muhammad will supply them. Along with the food, that's what you're going to get. I'm telling you right up, I can't give you the food. I ain't going to be like Farrakhan tell you lies. Oh, man, you can just eat my crap. You get actual facts here. I cannot provide, it says in Exodus, God will provide food, manna from heaven. So once you organize, right, there'll be, so you'll know he's there. But he's not helping you with tribulation, because tribulations, it's like helping you in the gym. Well, how's it gonna help you? I'm gonna go to the gym and help you in the gym. Well, I'm the one doing the gym then. I'm gonna live for you. No, that's a process you got to go through to purify yourself. You got to go through it. You got to find who you are. You got to be tested. That's one way to test you, put you on a stream, right? Difficulty, and then you see that. Then you like you walking through fire, or you see you get burned. You say, "Hey man, you a God, man. You can walk through fire." That sounds good, right? But you ain't never tried it. And so you believe it, but you don't know. But then you put you in the fire and you walk through it, and then you say, hey, fire ain't bother me, then you know. That's part of what's got to go through. But you will have weapons if weapons are required. Because they don't come at you physically. They come at you mentally right now. And you don't see it. I'm trying to explain to you, they come at you mentally right now. They already set the trap already. That's why I know Master Armor's going to move quickly, because they already set the trap, but you don't see it. I see the trap clearly. Okay? Your people will be willing on your day of battle. And also, now that day of battle, you'll be not willing, right? They remain armed for war. Armed for war. Which means armed for war. If you're armed for war, it means you got weapons. Well, if you're armed for war, you got weapons. They say everybody ready for war. You're armed for war. Before the day for the Lord to battle, the service will pass over. Every man armed for war. Don't be guns and all that. Whatever weapons you have, they're gonna be very effective. This is what you're gonna see, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to keep it. And then, but you got to apply your 5 pillars. You got to achieve Hajj. You got to come correct. When you come correct, if you don't come correct, then you end up deal with a tyrant. Okay, now I mentioned this here. Reaction rate. We got a very slow reaction rate. That said God's slow to react. Right? Slow to anger. Slow to wrath. Because of high structure. That was the act right away. I tried to explain that. I thought I was going to do a grass and I just talked through it again. Hope you understand the situation, brothers and sisters. Yeah, you got it. I tell you, it's all based on pressure. It's all mathematics. So I'm getting $100 a day, and I'm spending $100 a day. Okay, I'm having a good time. Right? Now, I'm getting $100 a day. I'm not spending it. I ain't got anything, man. Hey, man, wait, man, how come he party? He got a nice car. I ain't got no. I just after 1,000 days, right? Say $100 a day. That's $100,000. And that guy, what he got? He got $1,000 because he didn't spend it, part and everything else. He got $1,000. So if we come against each other, he's wiped out. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, somebody punch him, he punched right back. Bam. Punch him right. Take no shit from nobody. So you get a 10-pound punch every day. Every day you respond with a 10-pound punch. The balance is done. It's everything right. It's reaction. 100 days, right? Everything's cool. Because he took and got revenge or consequence, whatever, and did to him, did right back. 1,000 days, right? 10 pounds a day, right? 10 pounds of pressure, 10 pounds of force. But after 1,000 days, I got 10,000 pounds of force because I didn't retaliate. I just took it. I just kept taking it, take it. 10,000 force I done built up. So if I come against that one, he don't have a chance. I got 10,000 pound force. He got 1,000 pound force. Man, he got 10 pound force. Because he was spending his all the time. He got 10 pound force. I got 10,000 pound force. That's why I said be crushed instantly, easily. I don't know if you understand the math there, brothers and sisters. That's why I told submit. Don't retaliate. Just store it up. And Levites, right? They didn't do 100%. They threw a lot of it up. They jump up and kick every, go back and start a little rebellion and stuff every now and then. They took up most of it. So they met the criteria. They took enough to survive the Holocaust. Survive Holocaust and survive the tribulation. They weren't totally submissive, but they fell within the criteria. Right? But elect, they're totally submissive. Just take it all in. Like myself. All the crap I've been going through 35 years, I take it all in. I have responded. Like they had me on Demon Island, they do all that kind of stuff, car accidents, children going, all that kind of stuff. If you look at my life, man, it's been a total mess. So you got to look at the math of it. And I really thought about that. I said, you know something? in order to, under these extreme situations, to get into the mental, right? Because a lot of energy to get into the mental level. Levites haven't got there yet. Part of the reason, not the fact they just energy's going all kind of directions. I was forced in that way, in a way, because I didn't have any energy. I didn't have any energy waste on family, no mother, no father, right? No, my relatives didn't give a damn about us. I was on my own. Was on my own. Grew up with nothing. I never met my grandparents. Right? My father's side of the family, never met any of them. I don't know. I saw his brother when he passed. He showed up and then he disappeared. Never saw him again. So father's side of the family, I don't know any of those folks. None of them. Trying to find them. So one thing after another. So I have no angels wasting on that kind of stuff. So is that playing that way? I don't know. So my angel was voted into learning. No distractions, very little. So when you, let's say you put these things together, say he would grow up like a spring in dry ground or something. This is the mathematics of the time, bro and sisters. It's not easy. The mathematics of the time. And now I've come to understand. I'm trying to get you to understand it. So you can't think. See, right now they got you thinking of some kind of weird Christianity idea, whatever. When you get home, your thing gonna change again. You think you would think like this here once you're home and you're safe, the devil's behind you, and now you got a kingdom, you got family. You think you'd be thinking anything like this here? Right now you got to survive this to get there. And said you think, said you got to be, you gonna go through all this tribulation, and everything before you get to the garden. Yeah, said well, you said you're gonna go through distress and affliction and everything else. And said, well, who's gonna cause it? See, that's why you got to understand personification. Because people don't understand that. Oh man, you think you won't get, how do you say that? I think I got here somewhere. You think you get to the garden without going through stress and affliction and all that stuff, right? And nobody asks themselves, well, who's going to do that? They assume they're going to be going through it, but they haven't ever thought like that somebody be causing that. Because in the first read, you say, oh, man, it's going to be going to the garden. I'm going to be, if all this stuff happened. Okay, it just happened out of the clear blue sky? No. Who's going to be? That's the devils. Trying to stop you from going to the garden. Getting the hell out of here. Who else trying to stop you from getting out of here? Farrakhan. He's part of it. See, once you see a picture and you understand, you see who's playing what part. But then once you leave out here, because you're the goal mind. You're supposed to go for them. Farrakhan's got rich off here and produced a damn thing. He's a multimillionaire. That shit right there expose him. So they're gonna come at you. That's the crown way of saying they're gonna come after you with stress, affliction, everything else. Try to stop them from leaving here, going to the garden. Where's the garden? Garden's where you come to your home. Anyway, so they react right away. But they said intelligent. Oh, see, man, he kick ass. They don't take no shit from nobody. I never took any crap from anybody either. Right? But that's, right? That's not what we're talking about here. Right? They're aggressive. Very hot-headed. These are almost not as bad as them. Right? So, and Levites, they take a lot of shit. But they got their limits. They won't take as much as we do. We took it all. They retaliate all. What's this? Submit. See how you put this stuff together with Smith? That means you just absorb it. If he's absorbing it, you Smith, that means you're absorbing it. So where's it going? Every reaction has opposite reaction. So where's our energy going there if you holding it back? Ain't that called damming? I tell people that all this stuff is saying the same thing, just different ways of saying it. It's the exact same thing. So they spin all their reality telling, so they ain't storing anything up. America get pissed, like they attacking people and everything else right away, dropping bombs on people, terrorism and all this, they totally reacting. So they're not building up any consequence. You don't F around with America. And that's over here, we taking all this shit. People look at it, we look at it dumb they are, man. They laugh at us. I get mad myself. I have to control myself. I see brothers and sisters, I say, man, I get pissed off myself. And I say, man, y'all putting up with no, because just no reaction. Because you, it's symptomatic of the dam's about to starting to crack. Okay? Because then start to crack. All of a sudden, right, you're angry because you're about to explode. You took about all you can take. You see how you look into this stuff, brothers and sisters? That's what's happening because their wrath has come. Right? That means it was about to explode before that. Now suddenly exploded. I mean, the wrath didn't just come over a second. It was building up. Then the wrath has come. That means they have wrath all the time, but now it's time to explode. The wrath is built up. So I be saying, man, well, how brothers can put up with this? Because at the point, I reach my limit. If the day of wrath comes, it means they've reached their limit. When you get wrathful, that means you reach your limit of bullshit. You understand these words, brothers and sisters? You reach your limit of bullshit. Their wrath has come. Now it's time for retaliation. So they took a lot of shit. The more he took, the wrath you come, because devils, they wrath all the time. It don't take much to get them wrathful. We store it up. Store it up. But for the damn breaks, when it starts cracking and stuff, so I got to hold my sky. I got to take it and control myself, discipline, because right now I'm saying, man, why we put up this? Why don't we just kick their ass? And that's what Jonah said, man. What are we waiting for? Remember, it says, I'll bring a sword. I'm in distress just accomplished. Because it's building up. The wrath is about to bust. About to bust. So, damn. But he's still holding up restraint. So that's what it said right there. It says, how distressed I am until it's accomplished. You got to understand the human condition. We're all human, right? Devil's not human, they're beasts. So up to the point, the damn breaks, starts cracking and carrying on. So no breakthroughs. Look at that damn, it's cracking, right? Better watch out. Hey, man, he's getting upset, he's getting angry, man. Because now you're starting to see it. He wasn't just getting that way, he's already just starting to burst through. It's not unlimited. The God is not, it's not unlimited how much pressure we can take. It's not unlimited. So the reaction rate, how long it takes you to react. You're not reacting right away. This guy's reacting right away. So boom, he damn it up. And so he's throwing it up. Don't just see, we take a whole lot. Dam it up. Then 40 years. Then the structure. We got maximum structure. So when that pressure builds up to that much, that force, and took all that stuff, but can you handle it? Okay? You put devils on the hard cards, they couldn't handle a week of it. You understand that idea? You're putting that, okay, but you can see, because if you put a lot of pressure on the coal, can it handle it? Handle it, it transforms to a diamond. If it can't, it's crushed to dust. The pressure applied. How it responds to that pressure. How it responds to that force. How it responds to all that force building up. That cause us, right, to come apart? Do we have enough structure to hold on, or to cause us to transform into, said you be overnight. So we're going to transform. It's in higher to gods, from angels to gods. But you have enough structure. Otherwise, if you don't, then when you get to that point, you just explode, you break up. You gotta understand the structure. So we got the maximum structure. The structure is greater than ours. And the Levites are strong. They got a very weak structure. Don't take much pressure. You see it? Look at the world right now. Who's the most stable? Who's the one falling apart? This world is falling apart. Everything. See, you got to look at the reaction. And the person that goes out, the aggressor, they're the ones in trouble. So you got to think back. Oh, he's out there kicking it. But why he's got to fight? Because he's in trouble. Why you got to do tariffs, all that kind of stuff? Because you're in trouble. You're trying to make control of the stuff. Somebody said, see how tough he is? No, why he's doing that? He wouldn't be doing that if he wasn't in trouble. He didn't need money, didn't need this, that. But say, look at it, make a virtue of it. And so America, specifically Europe, right behind them. Who's all the trouble right now? Middle East. Who's backing that? America and Britain. Look in Europe over Russia. That's all the drama is. Between the European countries. And China's on the rise. There's India's right behind it. I mean, it's right there. If you just look around, it's the math is right in front of your face. There's way behind it. We did. We come and we change everything. Understand, brothers and sisters? Hope you understand. So we can withstand. You wouldn't tell us to go to Holocaust if we could not handle the stress of the Holocaust. Right? The devils couldn't do it. That's why they had to call them. They tried to use them first, denture service. They couldn't do it. They tried to use the so-called Native Americans. They couldn't do it either. They fell apart. Remember, a lot of Esau couldn't do it. Haitians or whatever. Remember, Esau, that's all about emotionalism. Remember, why did Esau give up his inheritance? Because he was hungry based on his emotions. That's intellectual. He says, man, I got this, man. I guess I need to be on a fast or whatever, right? No. Hey, man, I want to solve. I want to take and deal with my feelings. I'm hungry. Give all his inheritance because he's hungry. That's what tell you again. You're on an emotional level. So he lost everything. He said God hated him, but loved Jacob. Right? Jacob was dealing intellectually. He wasn't, if you say, because he was tricking people and everything else. I mean, I didn't say, right? I'm not telling people, well, I don't know what I'm going to say about that. Because like I said, it depends on the season. What he was doing was right for the season. God loved him. He was tricking people and everything else. But it was coming here. Everything Jacob was doing would come here. Right? When he got wrestled with the angel. He was kicking the angel's ass. And he said, well, right? Yeah, he said, he told the angel, I ain't gonna let you go unless you bless me. So he was looking to the future. He had the angel and said, man, you gotta let me go, man. I ain't letting you go till you bless me. I'm gonna something out of you. So the angel blessed him, said, your name is not Israel. That's where the name came from. It's more to it than that. Israel. Hey, it's a little background there, but I'm gonna leave it alone, brothers and sisters. Yeah. They have no structure. The devil's broke. They ain't for us. Their devil structure wasn't strong enough to withstand it. Came apart. Okay, let's talk about this for a second, brothers and sisters. See, like I said, it's you're on an emotional plane because this stuff is so simple now, and plus I've made it simple. You couldn't. How come they can't see the boundless desolation with it's so simple, so clear? I'm saying they can't see that. I mean, damn, Ray Charles see that one, but no one said it but me. I don't think anybody even wants to claim that they were in there. I'm sure they understand it because it tells you who the 666 is. It tells you. It says that its power, its force will be sanctions. You'll be not buy or sell. Who's the only country doing that? America. They show you that's who that is. And it's three of them together. Who you got? You got who set up false Israel? America and Britain, Gog and Magog. Those ones that came out, those two only world powers that's been world powers. Even on that level, they show who they are. But nobody's ever called that out like that. So they gonna get a mark. There's gonna be a computer mark, all that kind of stuff. It says his weapon would be sanctions. You're not buy, sell. Who's doing that? Simple stuff. See, if they did see it, they can call it, and they have to manifest that, expose who they are. If they did see it, they can't expose it. And here is the structure, right? See, now this triangle structure, this is not make-believe. This is stronger structure, more sturdy than this one is. Triangle's the greatest structure than this. Put pressure on it, this will crumble for this one. And this is even worse structure. This worse structure. So devils have a weaker structure. So, and now the universe is contracting now, pressure building up on them. And then you got Suleiman, the pressure from within, and they can't stand, so they're falling apart. Everything's getting worse and worse from all time. Then you got Donald Trump. You say, well, he's the wisest person that they can produce. You understand the math of it, and tells you about who everybody else is. He's in charge. He's going to lead everybody to destruction. See? And it tells you, he always told him, the Son of Man must suffer much and rejected by the elders. Isn't that Master Muhammad? Showing Farrakhan. Right? He put to death, but 3 days he will rise. See? He is, right? If you go by days, 1, 2, 3, but that's not story together, bro. So I'm not going to go there. Right? What? 3 days, 3 days later, but some say on the third day. Right? Well, this is death. And these are days, this is the third day from here. So it's telling you, what's telling you? Because remember, if Gog and Magog was there, that'd be the fourth day. He's telling you, right? He's there, and he's going to rise. You get this configuration because now this will be the third day. So maybe too deep for you. Those that understand, when Gog and Magog is out here, that means there'd be 4 levels. So he would be on the third day. So it's telling you, it's 2 things telling you, right? Put to death, that's where the Levites are. Right? And you'll rise from here, right? Third day when American Britain's attacking. Come on, brothers and sisters. And then that wicked shall be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with spirit of his hell, mouth shall destroy the bright is coming. Bright is coming. It shows you, right? He hasn't arrived yet. he hasn't fully together yet. He's still going through this, trying to, in the resonance, get the information to people. Okay? So he won't be complete. Then when the brightness of it's coming, at the same time he will destroy Farrakhan. I'm gonna go about this because God raised him from the dead, putting into agony of death. It means he was going through a lot of agony with the Levites. Put into the agony of death, since it was impossible for him to be held in his power. They wouldn't be able to hold him long. They wouldn't be able to hold him. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. And we believe in him that raised up Jesus our Lord from dead, as Joshua the Messiah, translated properly, from dead. He was delivered for our offense. He was delivered for our offenses. Because they was backwards doing it. They had mind back. All kinds of stuff that, so he had to deal with that. Right? But was raised again for our justification. But he justified them. He was suffering a lot because of them, but he was justified. So no, they're good people, right? They went to Holocaust, so forth, so on. He's not confusing them. He's justifying them. But yet still went through a lot of bullshit with them. And then they raised up from death to life. Same thing, suffer many things. But the death is different interpretation, both. Because I just grab something. Put to death and raised to. Put to death and raised again. I got that many. Come, let's deal wisely with them. It means they plan their destruction. It's already in place, brothers and sisters. You'll see in a minute. Or if you won't be caught in the snare. Come and let's wipe them out as a nation. We're the only nation that's in a nation on the planet. Wipes out being a nation. The name of Israel being no longer remembered. They try to make that false over here. No, that's what I was talking about. Wipe them out. The planet wipe us out. And doing this war. Okay, let me move on, brothers.
Washington, D.C. Louis Farrakhan suspects that his father may have been Jewish. But he tells Henry Louis Gates Jr. in the Washington, D.C. Louis Farrakhan suspects that his father may have been Jewish. At least that's what he tells Henry Louis Gates Jr. in the current issue of the New Yorker magazine. Speaking of his father's white Portuguese parents, the Nation of Islam leader said, "I'm going to tell you something. You really want to know what I think? I think they were members of the Jewish community." He added, "I believe that in my blood, and not in a bad way. Because when I was a little boy I used to love listening to the Jewish cantors in Boston. They had a program, and every week I would listen. I was struck by the cantor, and I've always loved the way they sing or recite the Torah. Gates, citing an academic source, says Farrakhan's assertion about his lineage is highly probable given that nearly all people of Iberian descent in Jamaica and Barbados are of Sephardic Jewish ancestry. Farrakhan was born in 1933, the son of May Clark, who was from Barbados. He was named Gene after his father, a light-skinned man with straight hair from Jamaica. His father, Gates writes, was a philanderer whom the family rarely saw. If in my lineage there are Jews, I would hope that in the end, before my life is over, I not only will have rendered a service to my own beloved community of black people but will also have rendered a service to the Jewish community, Farrakhan was quoted as saying. In the interview with Gates, which reportedly lasted 9 hours, the Nation of Islam leader also made reference to wise Jews who plan evil, the international conspiracy of Jewish bankers and overwhelming Jewish complicity in the slave trade. Jewish groups expressed outrage over Farrakhan's latest public statements. Farrakhan's effort to make it appear that he is merely criticizing the evil he finds in his own Jewish antecedents is a reflection of the bizarre and ludicrous nature of his entire behavior towards Jews, Phil Baum, executive director of the American Jewish Congress, said in a statement. Meanwhile, a planned protest against the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith fizzled last week when Washington, D.C., police denied former Nation of Islam spokesman Khalid Abdul Muhammad entrance to the B'nai B'rith office. Flanked by 4 bodyguards in black fatigues, Muhammad took a moment to rail against the ADL and the Jewish community before he departed the scene. This is a criminal organization and a criminal enterprise that has lied and spied on black leaders and black organizations, said Muhammad, who was dismissed as Farrakhan's spokesman in 1994 in the wake of a national controversy surrounding a vehemently anti
Your brothers and sisters, these books are books for their time. And the Bible is sealed. It's not corrupt, it's sealed. But if you're preaching sealed Bible as it's the as though it's unsealed, then you're the one's corrupt. You're the one's corrupting what it's saying. Because what it's saying is sealed. That's the Bible that was given to Adam, was sealed. It went to angel come unseal it. But it's a sealed book. So that means if you're teaching it and you know it's sealed, you don't know what it's saying. But if you're acting as though that's unsealed, then you're the one's corrupt. You're the one corrupting the message. You understand? But it says, make all things new. The angel is the book for this season. To the New Testament, that's what the Catholics had, right? And had that for 500 years. Then the new season came in Islam, and the discipline. I'm not going into details. And they overcame the church, Catholic Church. For 1,000 years, they had them locked down in the Dark Age. That's chapter 20. And then they broke away. Catholic Church broke away to the Old Testament, which is about the law. Law is about discipline. They stopped applying discipline, they regained their power, and they was able to shut down the Sunnis for the last 500 years. And they haven't been able to prevail against them. Now it's time for the angel, what's going to blow away everything. Yeah, so what book did Abraham have? What about before Abraham? They had books. Of course, they're no longer relevant. Different books of different seasons. Everything. All things new. Elijah, he raised up the Levites, right? They were different on the emotional level, right? Because of Malcolm, Valley, so forth. Then what? He was taken away because they was plotting against him. He got control, and you know, Farrakhan was right with him, right? He got rid of it. Started something called Belialians. Got rid of it, right? Who did that? That's the devils. Stop this. The devil was really against us. Can have us discipline the army. Farrakhan was happily with him, so he claimed he was doing this. Why you with him then? You knew. The punk Farrakhan. So he returned like a buzzard. They always pray. They come back to the name of Islam. Refer to that. Sunnism, golden calf, Scientology. All this is a government program, bro. Sisters. I was going to go into more detail, but I'm just leave it there for right now. See, auditing, where you can get anywhere in the Nation of Islam on the Farrakhan, you had to do auditing. Now, a lot of Muhammad knew about this. I knew about Scientology. When I got sick back in 1973. I was with the Nation of Islam. Got sick, and I went to Hawaii, and that's the first time I heard of Scientology. It's Dianetics and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, when you're auditing, right, you got to give all your information you got, and you got to be sincere. All the background, all the stuff. It's so-called, what do you call it, intelligence gathering? Get information on you. You ain't going to be confidential. You believe that? They take information back to Farrakhan. He gives it to the devils. So now they got the hold on you. Because you were telling your most intimate secrets. I used to be this. And that's how they got some of these people. They got some of them. That's what Scientology is, the auditing. He said, we're just constant auditing. Now you got to, if you want to be anywhere in the Nation of Islam, you got to go to auditing. You got to be fake. You got to be true. You got to answer all your most secret thoughts. The Bible tells you don't do that. It's one of the things the whole Nova people says. You got control. She stole it. Rob our nation. That's through my blind angel. Press. See, he put that barrier around. As far as this was a battery, they have. That's the vision. Not you don't have a vision. You American dream is your vision. Okay? So he brings it around for all this. So that's what's keeping us. Because the guys thinking that false Israel is the true Abraham. So you got to break through that. That's the major form of resistance. That's why all this happens when false Israel goes down. I'm going more of that. No, detail later, brothers and sisters. It breaks through. Brown got more golden calf carrying on. It breaks through. And Farrakhan's going. And they attack you because they see you. Farrakhan's going, Fawcett's going down. You starting to stir, starting to stand up. They attack you. And you develop an army. Defend yourself from the attack. It's a great army. And now you do tribulation. and you're at war with devils. You make your journey towards the West Coast. You're just trying to get your mind back 360 degrees. Resonance. See, brothers and sisters, get resonance. Gotta keep on putting that word out there. That's the ammunition. Hold on. Resonance, gotta keep on doing it. Word out there to break through the resistance and your personal resistance. That hard head. I'm leave there, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. Incidentally, brothers and sisters, all those things I referenced on there that you don't know shit, I didn't put it just there. I know all of it. All those questions that I brought up, I know every one of them. I make myself a hypocrite say, well, you don't know, I don't know. I know every one, I can answer every one of them.
make it. Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. The heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put it back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You are now turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put it back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that this is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You and I, turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your home? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their arms 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you were free. Remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, Veteran of Covenant. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's been a year now, and we're finally home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Finally home after 40 years, right? And so we've been here a year now. And there was an agreement made. A former slave master, he said, we had a choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance, Arabia. So we left. And half the original people decided they wanted give up their inheritance, and trade it for a place in America in reconciliation with their former slave master. That's their choice. They chose, said, we don't want to go over to Arabia. We don't go to where it's sand and all that stuff. We want to stay in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with our slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we get reports of how things are going over there. And it doesn't sound too good. How things are going over in America with their reparations. Because they was given, they got 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, they got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told them. You know, they was listening to Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them, you know, they stay there, 6 states, right? Had their own land. And they can make reconciliation with the former slave master. They're not devils. They're not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, you know, they were just, you know, did some things wrong, but now they, you know, they're gonna make amends and make reparations. So 6 states, and in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody stayed $1 million. Okay? Say, thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. Man, you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. They're thanking you. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? And you know, I mean, this was a year ago. They got the 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. And they're rejoicing. Oh man, they're so happy. Hey, we came, man. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for our master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That was a year ago when we left. Okay, so we're in Arabia. They're still back there in America. And now we're getting reports a year later. This was the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. They were so happy. Right? And now we get reports of what's going on right now. Let's see. Oops, it says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Power failure. And just those 6 states. Right? So, and now they had a big and massive, they came asking to turn the power. Well, why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling you about 6 states, he never prepared you for them. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So now he's begging, man, master, can you come and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told them 6 states to promise him that he would have prepared them for it, right? Their schools and education, or whatever they needed for that. But I guess they didn't, because they said over there now he's begging the former master to come and turn the power back on. And then what? I mean, this is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A year later, it's like they're coming in every hour. Power grid failure, right? Then say, oops, crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no. They looked at the farmers when they doing the farmers said, oh. So then, master, what's happening here? How come you know? Right? Our crop. They found that the land they gave them wasn't that fertile. A year later, nothing's growing. Crop failure. And now they master, what's happening here? Right? And then, I mean, all these things, every hour that's coming in, right? And then they look, and man, they had, a year ago they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? And now they look there now, and all the food's gone. It's gone. And she said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So he said, Master, we need some food. Well, how come you can't produce your own food? I mean, you want your own country. You got your own states. That's your country. Then you run it. What are you calling us for? Right? And so they've been praying. And then, oops, no fuel. There's Master, no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money, right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. And you got your reparations, so we don't owe you anything anymore. We don't owe you anything anymore, so what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of your inheritance, what you call the Abrahamic covenant, Arabia. Your brothers and sisters, they left. They took that was offered to them. They took it, and you said no. I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on, Master? Wait a minute, hold on. What you calling us for? That's yours. You got to handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff was coming every hour, man. Instead of like a year, they was celebrating. And now they crying and begging the Master, hey, look at all these problems here. I said, wait a minute, that's yours. Where you come about your problems? You have to work those out. Right? No transportation, I mean, no planes, no nowhere. We don't have to fly the planes and drive the trucks and the boats and stuff and to go and get this stuff. Well, what you done that for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and get to train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you calling for? Yeah, Master, we see this. You said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was the reparations. So then if you didn't pay people to take care of this, how's that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Ooh, there's no fuel. The gas station's empty. I can't drive, eh? And no gas. Man, wow. All this stuff happened like for a year. They thought that everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So I guess what happened? Everything was there when they got it, and then it ran out. They had to, for them to replace the fuel, to get the farms going. So they was left with that stuff. The factory was full. I mean, warehouses full. Then you had to keep. They thought that was just going. I guess they thought it was just going to be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See? And they ain't trained any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They ain't, business. They didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan, he told you he's going to get this for you, but he didn't prepare you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So now he asked the Master, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you wanted reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, calling your brothers over there. They left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. right? See? You don't have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See? I mean, that's what, you know, because, I mean, if you're going to set reparation, you should be preparing for that, right? So if he was telling you about reparation, you should be preparing for it. If he thought, if he said, God said that's where he's going to get you, so if God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, to only build an ark, so he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states and the reparations, but apparently you didn't. And so now, it does say, look, hold it. We want total separation. I mean, look, we don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You want your own country. You got your own land. Right? You got money, $1,000,000, all this stuff, right? And so now we got to protect your money and everything too? No, you have to create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. That's all economics. So they go and tell it. They tell all the people and all the white folks, right? Because all the black folks, now all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. You had to be one way or the other. There couldn't be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You just said one or the other. So all the black folks are there, ain't no integration, that kind of stuff, right? Black folks are there, one or the other, so they're there. So they said, okay, right? So they just say, we're going to take our money because we don't know what y'all doing over there. You have your own money, you have your own wealth. So what they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money, right? Transfer your money into gold. Transfer all your dollars into gold. Okay. Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million apiece. So everybody got $1 million apiece, right? And so they transfer it to gold. And then what happens is that what they do is they start just printing money. White folks just start printing money. You understand what that means? That's inflation, right? Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say a million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounce, each certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? If you got 1 million ounces of gold and you got 1 million certificates, each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. If you want to say trade with the certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold, right? But if you take and print, you say you got 1 million ounces of gold and you got 1 million certificates, each one. But say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now, because you got to connect that to the gold. Well, you print 4 times, then each one's worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they worth, because those certificates has to equal what the gold is. You understand? So the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, there's less gold. You understand? So if $1 is worth 1 ounce of gold, which that's right, then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's what printing money without increasing their wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is they keep printing. They get down to where $100 is worth a penny. But see, that doesn't affect their people. They told to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. It still got the same amount of gold, but the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now your $1 million worth of $5. That's all it's worth. $1. Hardly worth anything. I want you. Hey, that's our money. You got to have your own money. You control your own wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. And you think they wouldn't do that? Yeah, you've been a Gaza lately? You see what happened to the treaties they made with the so-called natives? Kept telling me he had a forked tongue because they kept making treaties with them, then they broke the trees. And took their land and genocide and everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. See? Because now you have, your money's worth nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then you burn it up, throw it away, it's worth nothing. The people still got to go. And even if they take it, hold on to money, hope to increase again, they just use another different certificate, use another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. That $1 million you had, you was so happy with it now, it's probably worth maybe $1. So you can't buy anything $1. Plus the economy's collapsed because everything is failing, and you don't know how to repair it. You don't know how to build communications. You don't know how to do any of this stuff. You don't know how to engineer, build a house. You don't know how to do anything because Farrakhan didn't. Right? He didn't prepare you. He told you he'll give you 6 days. He told you, listen to me, right? So now you're broke, and your economy is gone. You have no food, no electricity, no power, anything, right? It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. You still had your inheritance for that. And then they closed the border. Because you want to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We sorry, we want to come in. No. That's you chose. You stay there. They closed the border, so you can't get back in here. You can't get back in America, into what you call your land now? Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. Maybe call it travel land. Farrakhan. They met the Farrakhan, right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else, your money's worthless. Oh God, come back, Master, I come back work for you, I work for Popeyes, I do anything you want. No, remember, the blacks either they over in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America, any places, just in that land that you 6 states. And now you're starving, you ain't got your money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. Right? And then you see Master, you on the phone, you talking to the guy that you kept treating, help you. Hey, we finally got rid of them niggas. Finally got rid of them. See, on the phone. Yeah, it worked. We sold them no reparations. We sold them that used car. They turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. See? They could have had a BMW. They could have had a Lamborghini. They sold that for a BMW that looked good. Damn thing didn't work. And now they're starving, living in tents. Praying. And so what? Then what next? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did. They gave us everything that we asked for. What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do? Pray. That's his answer. Pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, he had a big picture. We leaving, and blacks staying on the shore, the ones stay behind, and they was whooping their ass. Right? Because they thought you think they would give you some land and take care of you? You think they want to do that? And go bankrupt, give everybody $1 million? How much that is? If it's 17 million, that's 17 million times 17 million times $1 million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that there. Then they're going to do all that for you. They want to get rid of you. So now they have succeeded. Because they closed the border. What you going to do? You want to fight to come out? They closed the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. No more black problem, no more Negro problem anymore. One group's out of here, another group that's here. They're gone, and our hands are clean. We gave them what they wanted. Well, anything. Okay. God honors contracts. Remember, he honored the contract with Jacob. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of soup to Jacob, which was Esau's inheritance, and God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. Pharaoh ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. And this homeland you was promised, you rejected it. So now you got what you asked for. Okay. So if they gave you reparations today or tomorrow, how would that scenario not play out like that? Well, they say, okay, you got it. Tell me how the scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell me why they wouldn't do it. They love you so much, they're going to say, okay, we're going to take care of them. I mean, why should they go out their way to take care of you when you was right here? You was working at Popeyes and then they get up on Section 8, all that stuff right here with because they're trying to get rid of that stuff right now. Trump's trying to get rid of all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening over in America. Wow. Boys, come here. Disaster over there. And, I just got a call. Oh, wait, hold it. Really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call it Conland or something. I forgot what it is. Something name to call it right there. That 6th day. They begged us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them and bring them? Oh, no. Now he wouldn't ask Master Farad Muhammad, right? He said, no, hell no. We ain't going to get them. And I agree with that. Yeah, the bastard said he said, let's call him, and he passed the word to Master Farad Muhammad. Master Muhammad said, send him back. Master, no, we can't come and get you. You chose, you made your choice, live with it. Or die, whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't believe that. They actually, right, sent a message over. I don't know how they did, I don't have any communication with it. Somehow they got the information over to him, said, would we please come and get him? Nope. Said, no, tell him no. And don't waste time communicating with us anymore. You got your land, you got your reparations, you got your money, you got Farrakhan as your leader. Yeah, tell him, talk to him, let him straighten out for you. He didn't want to sell you the idea, he was a salesman. So you on that idea of reparations, we told you. Right? Suleiman, right? He was the messenger to you, telling you, look, man, let's go home. You said no. You chose not to. Okay, bro, since that's a sad story. But I guess that's it. Is that it? Oh, so they might get any more reports on papers. Okay, he says that was Master Farad Muhammad's final decision, and I think they closed communications off from there. So, like I said, brothers and sisters, we got those rides that came in. All that came in today, man. Came in fast. After a whole year. Total collapse. Now they're begging it. Somebody help them. We can't do it. Maybe Master help you. We won't do it. Assalamu alaikum. Update, brothers and sisters. Got another late report in that they said, well, if you want to come and get us, well, we at least send them some food. They begged, said, please send us some food. Master Rama said, no, we got to send them a damn thing. Nothing. Zero. He said, please just send us some food. No, I just got that in. He says, if you can't come and get us, please send us some food. He says, no. He refused. That's what, before I just got the information from the ambassador. He said, they sent that, and he's read to me. He says, no. He said, please, just please send us some food. He said, no way. You made your choice. Case closed. Okay. Just got that in, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.